Yeah, today James is helping me to do the webinar, and especially James is going to do a live demo of the tag feature, because that's what the webinar is about Mailbutler's brand new tags feature. It was released last week. We already saw a lot of users adapting it, but this webinar also helps you to give you an idea how to integrate it into your workflow. We will give you some common tag categories. I'll show you some common tag categories, and of course also where the feature is located in Mailbutler. So, but let's start slowly. What is tag, or what are tags in general? Because tags are used by many softwares out there, and it's in general a tool that allows you to categorize and label items within the software. In our case, we are categorizing and labeling emails, but also your notes and tasks generated with Mailbutler, also your contacts you're managing with Mailbutler. But we even didn't stop there. We even rolled it out to the message templates feature, so you can assign tags to all the message templates, and also the signature feature. So as you can see, we try to integrate it into every single feature which Mailbutler is providing to give you full flexibility to integrate it into your daily email workflow. So here's the list again of which Mailbutler features are actually supporting the tag feature. So it's your emails, notes, tasks, contacts, message templates, and signatures. James will later show you each one of them and show you where the tag functionality is located inside your inbox. So the benefits of using tags is pretty straightforward. It helps you to organize your inbox. So whenever you receive a note, create a note, a task, you receive an email, you can simply add labels or so-called tags to it to later better organize them. So using a filter, for example, in the Mailbutler dashboard, you can quickly identify emails which are belonging to the same tag. And this allows you to really work efficiently and helps you to find the right email you are looking for. To do so, the first to do you have is actually to think about what kind of categories are beneficial for yourself. And that's the tricky part of the tags feature. We can't tell you which tag categories you should use. It really depends on how you're working with email. For example, we at Mailbutler, we are always working on different projects and having emails which are belonging, or email communication, which is belonging to that specific project. So we are tagging them with the project name. And just to give you an example, we had the project tags. So in the future, when we have a similar project, we will always label all these emails with this label. Also the to-dos which are related to that project, we will also label with the project name. But you can also use a priority tag label. So for example, when you receive an email and you think the priority of that email is very high, label it with high, and at the end of the day, you can check if you completed all your high emails or to-dos. For the status tag, I think it's pretty straightforward. When it's in progress, waited, delegated, reviewing, done, simply label it this way. When you're working on different market, I think it also makes sense to have location-based tags. For example, you could tag your contacts with the US market tag, so you can ask Mailbutler, show me all contacts from the US market. So you simply filter by that tag, and then you have a long list of the contacts on the US market. Same for time required tags, action tags. I think you get the idea here. And there are many more tag categories you can use. And you can even come up with completely new ones. As I said before, it's really up to you what and how you would like to tag. We even have a blog post, I think already. Yeah, it's already published on our blog with many different tag categories. So simply go through it and get inspired what you could use for your inbox. Maybe Tiffany, you can share the link of the blog post in the chat here, so you can have a look at it at the end of this webinar. What I also prepared is an example to give you also some input how you can use tags. For example, tags on invoices. So when we receive an invoice from now on, we are labeling the invoice the status. So if this invoice was already paid, if it's pending, if it's an overdue invoice, or if you had like a partial payment. We also add the tag from which supplier we received this invoice. Also, we try to label tag the expense categories, if it was office supply, travel expenses, and so on. We are also matching the invoice to a project or department. So of course we have the marketing department, the development department, the customer success department. So we have these three different labels. Also the payment method, if this invoice was paid from our credit card, from our PayPal account, or via bank transfer, very helpful for the accounting later to see from which account the invoice was paid, and also what kind of currency. Most of the time it's US dollar or euros in our case. And each invoice needs an approval on our side. So it's different who's going to approve it, but the accountant can simply label the invoice if it was approved or if it was rejected. Now we already come to the demo. James is going to use Apple Mail, which is very nice because most of you mentioned that you're using Apple Mail. And he's going to show you how to use the tag feature and where it's actually located in Apple Mail. So James, you can take over now. Yeah, I can see your screen and it's working. And thanks a lot.
Hi, everyone. So as Tobias said, I'm in Apple Mail today. And as you can see, I've actually got an email selected already from Tobias. And the email asks to do a meeting with me on Thursday. So the first thing, obviously, you'll have to do is open up Mailbutler by clicking on the button up here. And now you can see that the button in the sidebar over here says Add Tag. And it's as easy as clicking on that. It'll automatically select a color for you. And I'm just going to write something like urgent. And then I'm going to make another one which says team member. And that's already it now. That email will always have that tag. So if I click off of it and come back, then they're automatically saved on that email. You don't have to do anything after you click enter. And at the moment, I'm in the email tab, but I've got Tobias saved as a contact in my address book. And if I go over to his contact card by clicking on his face up here, then I can also add a tag to a contact, as Tobias said. So I'm just going to add team member to this as well, just in case I ever forget who Tobias is. And then if I go back to the email tab, or you can actually stay here and add notes and tasks on contacts as well as on emails. But I've already got one here. So follow up to organize a meeting with Tobias on Thursday. This is a task which I've created. And if I click on this, again, I can add a tag here. So I'm just going to add as well urgent and team member to this, and they show up automatically now that I've created those tags. And I'm also going to make a note, which is just going to be Tobias is available on Thursdays. And then I can, again, add the exact same tag to that team member. So now I've got an email, a contact, a note, and a task, all with the same tag. And it might be that there's lots and lots of different emails which have that same tag, lots and lots of different tasks, stuff like that. And you might want to find all of these items in one place, and you can do that really easily. So if you click on the blue button up here, which opens up the dashboard, and you'll probably start on home and then navigate over to the search bar here, then I can just search team member in the top, and all of my items, so the email, the contact, the note, and the task, all show up because they've all got that exact same tag. So that's creating tags in the sidebar, which is really, really easy, and searching for them. But you might want to, for example, change the names of your tags or change the colors. So to do that, you can click down here on the cog icon and then open up Account and Preferences. And from here, navigate down at the very bottom to the Tags tab. And from here, you can see that I've got the two tags that I've just created. Again, I can search for that tag. Obviously, I don't need to, but if you've got lots of different ones, then you might need to search through and find them. And after I've found the tag that I want, you can simply click on the title here, and I can change this if I want to make it easier just to team. And I can also click over here on color and change the color from all of these different options. And then, of course, you can also delete any tags that you don't need anymore. So that's the kind of central hub where you manage all of your tags. And those are sort of the normal use cases where you might use tags. You might have urgent priority on a task, or you might have team member, or probably more likely something like customer or client on a contact. But we decided that actually there might be some use cases for adding tags also to your templates and signatures. Say if you have lots and lots of different templates and signatures, and you need to really quickly find the one that you want to use or edit. So if you navigate up to the templates tag or the signatures tag actually in the same place in account and preferences, then you can see now in my list of templates, here I can also add a tag over here as well. So I could add any tag I want, and then also you can easily find that, and all of your templates are then labeled so you know exactly what their use case is. And that's it already, basically. It's as easy as that to add and to manage your tags.
Thanks a lot, James. As you can see, the functionality in general seems to be very basic and easy to use. It all comes down to the categories you define for yourself. So it's very useful until you use too many tags. That's also very important to know. So of course you can come up with 1,000 categories, and especially when you check the blog post, there are so many of them. Really think about which ones are useful for you and then actively use them, because it needs to be actively used, and then it's in the end helpful for you. I will share now my screen with the questions. You can still use the chat here to ask any kind of questions, even if they're not fully related to the tag feature. And we will go through the list now and try to answer all of them. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So the first question is, I'm not able to use Mailbutler on my iPad and iPhone, then I lose it from there. So there is an iPhone app, and this iPhone app should also work on your iPad. I don't get the second part, then I lose it from there. So there is a companion app for your mobile phone of Mailbutler. You can install it directly from the App Store, and there shouldn't be actually a problem. But I can already tell you that the tag feature is not fully available on the mobile version yet. Which plan is needed for all of this? I mentioned in the beginning that we are rolling out the tag feature for every Mailbutler feature. So in the end, the tag feature is always a sub-feature of each feature. So when your plan includes notes and tasks, it automatically also includes tags for notes, tags for tasks. So in the end, you could say it's available on all plans. Yeah. So there's not this one single plan which includes the tag feature. My Mailbutler is detached. How do I get it reattached? I think that's a macOS Sonoma question, if I understand it correctly. And I would like to answer the Sonoma questions really at the end of this webinar. So everyone who is on macOS Sonoma, please stay in this call, because I will quickly demonstrate you the Sonoma version, which I have already installed on my computer, because James was showing the old Mailbutler version. More about it in a few minutes. Can I set up all of my tasks ahead of time? Yes, you can set up all your tasks already in the preferences. You can create them and then simply reuse them when you select the email. I'm not quite sure if I understand it correctly, if that's what you meant, but yes, James, what James showed at the end, where you manage the color and can rename them. Of course, you can also create tags there, which are not used on any item yet. We could use tags for SMS or tags indicating that it's okay to tag this content. Yes, exactly. That's enough. As I said in the beginning, there's so many use cases. And this question with the SMS or tags, I think that's perfect examples to use tags on Mailbutler contacts. So which contacts can be contacted via SMS, which should be contacted via email. How can I use another tag color? We only have a subset of colors. If you want really like custom colors, I can only encourage you to send us an email and ask us to introduce that. So sending us a feature request in the end. Can you search by more than one tag? Yes. You can, the filtering, what James showed. Maybe I can also quickly show that. Oh no, I don't have it here. No, you can use the filter, not the search, filtering, and then selecting multiple tags. And that's, of course, what you need to do when you really want to categorize your emails. We will simply send you a screenshot of this filtering in the email. That was this one. Now we are here. One thing that I wish to have is to be able to edit text. Yeah, that's the only option to do it. You need to go to the preferences to correct the tag. So if you type in a completely new text when you create a tag, it creates a new tag. But I recommend you to create the tag in the preferences and simply select it always, so not type it, so you don't create a new one by accident. Location, next question. To an email, will it show on emails from the same contact that arrive in the future? Is there a way to set it up so the text shows on future emails by same contact? That's actually already a feature request we're getting a lot. Something like automatically adding tags based on certain triggers. We will definitely work on it. This is the first version of our tag feature, and we will further improve it a lot in the future. And I could envision such a functionality actually. Is the tag transferred to Apple reminders? Same here. This is also something we already have on our list of future improvements. It's not possible at the moment. So the tags will stay in the Mailbutler environment. They are not synced with external services like Apple reminders. Yes, you can always see the tags in the sidebar. And even when you open the dashboard and go to the email tab, you can also have an overview about all your emails, and from there you see the tags as well. Could we edit or print the list of the tags created? Also print notes the tags created, maybe. I'm not quite sure if I fully understand it. So we don't offer an option to export the list of tags at the moment. You would need to use the filtering and then work from there, if I understand it correctly. So it's not possible to print it, to print the list. Yeah. Planning any plugins for other standalone apps like Spark. We are actually already one of the only plugin developers who are supporting 3 email applications: Apple Mail, Gmail, and Outlook. So I don't think we will include even more applications, because we have 3 different development teams in-house for 3 different email clients, and it's a lot to support a new standalone app. Yeah. Great, was waiting for it. Thanks for the feedback. In Apple Mail, they have flags which are visible in the home screen of Mail and select them there too. Is that an option in Mailbutler? It gives a quick, nice overview. I can totally understand that feedback. This is not possible because it's simply not meant by Apple that external plugins shows or use that view to show the feature. So we all are always using the sidebar, And there you have the dashboard view with all the filtering option and the list view of all the emails. How do you see all the emails under the same tag? Yes, exactly, sorting it. I will definitely send you, or maybe James, can you share your screen in a few minutes again and show the email list and do a filtering from there and not using the search?
Yep.
More than one is okay, but what about and or? And or. I think that's not possible at the moment. I fully understand the question. So you would need to do like 2 filters. Yeah. But that would be also a feature request for our filter feature. Yeah. A feature of small cube I find it very useful. This perspective. Any plans to use something like that in Mailbutler? So we don't have plans yet, but we have a long list of feature requests. So same here, we could put it on the list of feature requests for the tag features. Yeah, and for the rest, small cubed is, for example, a plugin for Apple Mail, which had to stop the support because of macOS Sonoma. It's closing the loop very well because I'm talking now only to the Apple Mail users here. So the Gmail users and Outlook users, please don't be confused, because with the new release of macOS Sonoma, we really had to redo the entire Mailbutler plugin to make it work because Apple changed so much behind the scenes in Apple Mail, and a lot of other plugin developers, yeah, they decided to leave the market because it was too much work for them. But we found a way to make it compatible with macOS Sonoma and actually to keep all our features alive. And that's what some questions already mentioned here with the new sidebar, which is a new floating sidebar, and that we just have a developer preview at the moment. But I can already tell you that the final version of the macOS Sonoma version will be released very, very soon, in 1 to 2 weeks actually. And I will quickly give you a spontaneous live demo. Let me quickly first stop sharing my screen. Or maybe in the meantime, James, you can quickly show the filtering in the Mailbutler dashboard.
So here I am back on the email from Tobias with all of the tags on the notes, the task, and the email itself. Say I click off of this email and I'm on one that doesn't have the same tags, and then open up the dashboard and I want to find the email itself. If I click on the messages tab up here, then I've already done it, but up here, for example, I have this filters button. And if you click on the filters button, on top you can see search tags. And from here it gives me some suggested tags. I can click on team and then click on apply. And here you can see that that email shows up. And if I click on that, it gives me an overview here, and then I can also open it up and look at the email itself. So that's filtering, and you can do exactly the same thing if I went over to the contacts list, for example, and again, filter by tags, team, click on apply, then Tobias comes up because he has the team tag, and exactly the same on notes and on tasks.
And of course you can, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, add like multiple tags in the filtering. So you say,
yeah,
it should be
so I could do
urgent
here,
and yeah.
I could do team, and I could also add urgent. So
Yeah.
then it would show me all emails which have those 2 tags. At the moment for the demo, it's just this one, but say some had urgent, some had team, and some had both, then all of those would be shown.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Now I'm sharing my screen to show you